Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in the WPSL Southeast. We will take you through the week that was and get you ready for the week that will be. It was week 5 on the calendar, and we will take you through the final scores, give you the match of the week, get you ready for week 6, which has already started. Most of the action for week 6 is going to happen on Saturday and Sunday, so we'll get you ready for those matchups. And then there's even one match that starts off week number 7 that we've got to keep an eye on as well. So we'll take you through the schedule and get you caught up with some of the coaches in the WPSL Southeast and get the lay of the land for what's going on in the WPSL in general, because there are some teams in the South that are a part of the top 25 in the power rankings. So let's go backward before we go forward and let you know what's going on in last week's activity. Starting you back on Wednesday, June 5, it was the UFA Gunners putting 8 on Atlanta Fire United over at Oglethorpe University. That set up the UFA on the quick turn, having to travel up to Nashville, shut out Nashville Rhythm by the final of 3-0. Then one of the matches of the season so far, Decatur FC in front of a crowd of more than 2,000, setting the WPSL attendance record in the process. Fantastic match, an exciting 90 minutes with Georgia Impact, and it ends up being a goalless draw. We'll catch up and get perspectives from Decatur FC on the week and on Georgia Impact because their week is not done. So that was back on June 7. Atlanta Fire United turned around. They hosted 865 Alliance at Pinecrest Academy and would take that one on the chin 4-1. UFA shot out FC Nashville, putting 10 on the board there on Saturday. Chattanooga had the beginnings of a very busy weekend for FC Birmingham. Chattanooga FC at Lawson Field in Irondale beat FC Birmingham by the score of 4-1, which gets us to our match of the week. And it's Decatur FC going to Lawson Field to take on FC Birmingham Sunday night. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at FC Birmingham, the WPSL, and YouTube.
Oh, ball played into the middle there, brought down by the offensive player in the box. Settled and hit home nicely for game's first goal. So in the 43rd minute, Decatur first to get on the board, 1-0. Really nicely run piece of play. Not sure if the mark was there on the backside, but still brought down very calmly, slotted past the goalie. Nothing really Katie could do from a foot out. Ball being cycled around by Decatur. Now they've got a 1-0 lead. Oh, a penalty kick being called. What a tough call to go against FC Birmingham. I mean, looked like there was definitely some contact at the edge of the box, but it was a player that was going away from the run of play, was headed towards midfield, not towards the goal, and just a really tough call there for FC Birmingham after just giving up a goal. The goal scorer, number 7, going to take the kick. And she slots it home. Not going to lie to you, I'm a homer, but I can't see that being a PK. But unfortunately it was called, and now Decatur FC takes a 2-goal lead into halftime. As I said earlier, it's really going to be ball played in by number 20. Absolute blistering header. Started off here in the second half. We have Decatur FC now moving from right to left on your screen, wearing black. FC Birmingham, left to right, wearing the blue. Quick corner. Ball played in. Oh. Headed into the back of the net. Not the way you wanted to start the second half. As I said, though, this team is tall, and looked like number 4, Jasmine Ferguson. I one of their center backs just So 1 minute into the second half, score corner off of a corner kick. It's 4-0 Decatur FC over FC Birmingham. New corner kicker going to be taking this one. It's number 7, Emma Chapman. She puts in a nice ball as well. And again, remember, who is that on that header? Is that Contreras? The height of this team on set pieces is just a handful to deal with. Yeah, that was number 6, Becky Contreras. Absolutely blasting another header home on a corner. And a beautiful corner put in by Emma Chapman. I've been giving praise to Kat Elliott all night for her corner kicks, and she gets subbed off the pitch, and immediately a new person comes in and places just another beautiful corner.
So Decatur FC gets the shutout, 5-0 on the night, and they would continue their string of not having given up a goal so far this season in competitive play. Well done so far by Decatur FC. Week 6 has already been underway. Nashville Rhythm responding with the loss by shutting out FC Nashville, putting 7 on the board. And then Georgia Impact at Pinecrest Stadium on the road, taking on Atlanta Fire United, winning that one 4-0. Jason and Maddie caught up with head coach Rob Roddie and the keeper for Georgia Impact, Charlee Bernal, to get their thoughts on the 4-0 win.
For me, them being able to adapt to a new system. So we went with a new system today. Main reason for that, real narrow pitch. So we knew that kind of coming into the game beforehand. So we knew we could just play with a back 3. They adapted to that really well. It allowed us to get more possession. And then one big thing we've been focusing on is just that movement, switching the ball side to side. And they've done a fantastic job of that. And again, we spoke this morning or yesterday about just constantly creating chances, and that was it today. So really glad we're getting the chances there. Now it's just again just putting more away. Yeah, so no, I think that was the confidence boost the girls needed. You know, you can see them much happier. They're really kind of. I think they were defeating themselves a little bit for not getting more points in these games, but again, it's against some top competition, so I think this has been a big thing for them. But yeah, now that kind of monkeys off their back, where they've got their first 3 points, we move up 3 spots in the league today, and then now it's on to Saturday, where we're looking to go and get another 3 points and keep moving up the league.
Well, I thought to myself, this looks really familiar. This looks like, Argentina and France in the World Cup final. And, I had to do what my Lord and Savior Martinez did, pull out the foot save. So, well, honestly, I think even though I am a leader, I think every single person on our team is a leader. I think everyone comes here and gives 110%. We don't ever, me and Grace, we don't ever have to tell them, make this run, push yourself harder. And it's been amazing to know that every single person that comes on the field is going to give 110% and won't let anyone down. And even if they do make a mistake or something, we have the next person right behind to pick up their mess.
So that sets up the standings and where things currently are at this particular moment in time. We'll let you see how things are laid out. And once again, it's points per match. And that is currently where we are when it comes to point differential and all these kinds of things when it comes to goal difference and all that. We'll lay it all out for you right now. It is Nashville Rhythm on top with a record of 5-0-1 through 6 matches. They've got 15 points. UFA Gunners, Decatur FC, 865 Alliance, all are 3-0-1 so far this year. No losses by either side. And get this, the goal difference right now, UFA Gunners have a goal difference of 21. Decatur FC have not given up a goal in competitive play, goal difference of 16. 865 Alliance have outscored their opponent 17-4 in 4 matches. Their goal difference is 13. So you have a bit of a delineation right now with Nashville, UFA, Decatur FC, and 865 Alliance. Georgia Impact with a match in hand. They have played 3. They have won 1 and 1. They've got 1 in each column right now. They're at 4 points. Chattanooga FC is 1 and 2 on the year. No draws for them in 3 matches. They are at 3 points with a goal difference of -1. FC Birmingham has 1 win on the season and 3 points. Atlanta Fire United and FC Nashville have 5 matches and 4 matches respectively. do not have a win on they do not have wins or points so far this season when it comes to the WPSL Southeast. And so now let's catch you up on the week that will be with the remainder of the activity going on here in week number 6 and kind of set the table a little bit for week number 7 before we catch back up with each other. On Saturday, you've got a handful of matches in the Southeast. Atlanta Fire United at Pinecrest Academy hosting FC Nashville. Then Georgia Impact at Cherokee High School Saturday night hosting FC Birmingham. Big road game for FC Birmingham to try to get some separation at the bottom of the table. Then at Decatur High School Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Can Decatur FC have an encore on an encore? Can they beat 2,100 when it comes to attendance? 1,803 north of 2,100. What can Decatur FC do for their third home match of the season as 865 Alliance comes to town? We'll find out coming up on this weekend. Sunday at Fort Finley, Chattanooga FC's women are taking on UFA Gunners, and then week 7 starts before we catch back up with you. It's a matchup Wednesday night at Cherokee High School as Georgia Impact takes on UFA Gunners, and that gets us started in week number 7. But before we get you into all of that activity, it's time to catch up with our friends at Decatur FC and Campbell Chapman's view on the week that was and the week that will be. So it was a busy week for you that started off with that goalless draw with Impact, and a lot of folks are saying that it was two of the best teams, not just in this region or in this conference, but in the WP. It seemed like it was a just result.
Yeah, no complaints. I mean, obviously, playing in front of a big crowd, second game in, with scoring a lot of goals in the first game. I think the expectation was from probably some of the people maybe not so familiar with the league that it was going to be a repeat, but I knew that their team would be strong physically. I knew that they'd be well organized, and obviously watched us play. So it kind of went how I thought it was. It was always going to be tight, and we didn't score early in the game, which would have probably taken a little bit of pressure off us. And I think as the game wore on, we started to force things a little bit, trying to score rather than just playing just relaxing and playing and sort of letting it happen organically. We were just forcing things in a little bit. But in the end, no complaints from my side.
How difficult was the quick turn and then having to go out to Birmingham, even though you did win it 5-0, and a lot of that happened, second half and beyond? How difficult was that quick turn to go out there for Birmingham?
It's kind of a strange, obviously, experience because we're like feast or famine. We're playing in front of 2,000 people or 40 people. And so, from a mental approach, you got to say, you say to the players, obviously, listen, doesn't matter who you're playing in front of, it's always the same. But I think it was a very different atmosphere. Obviously, we were playing a team, I think, that we knew pretty early on the game were not going to challenge us as much as the Impact team had done. And it wasn't a case of, I don't think Jack and I were sitting there, it wasn't a case of if we were going to score. It was a case of when. And it took us a while. And then when the floodgates opened up, we got 3 late in the first half. So the second half was more of I want to say it was a training experience, but more of like, just don't force the things in, and we got 2 more, and we could have had more. But at the end of the day, I mean, a win's a win, and another clean sheet. We're pleased. Good trip home.
Does it surprise you that this deep into the season, you look at goals allowed, and there's a big 0 there? I mean, that's pretty strong so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the team play, but we're physically strong to have some that would be able to compete, and Jasmine Ferguson, Micah Bryant, Anaya Collier, Najeri Butts, and Shania Spriggs. That's the 5 girls that rotate into the defensive positions. And our goalkeeper, Jada, of course, and Caitlin will step in this weekend because Jada's unavailable, are strong. And they're well organized, they're physical, and they're tough to play against.
When I was at the home opener, you had 1,800 there, 1,803. Then you had more for the second go-round. Do you get the chance to stare at that crowd across the way from the benches and kind of soak it in a little bit, or are you locked into the idea of game and then I'll think about it later? Do you get a chance to enjoy it at all?
I have to be honest, it was the first game that I was surprised. The first game, I've only been to the stadium a few times when, my son or daughter was playing for the high school soccer team. So they didn't get the sort of fans that, that we got for the opener. And I got to be honest, when we looked across, Jack and I, and Don Martelli, who was coaching the AFU team, we were just amazed. It wasn't just it was people filling up. It was fans. It was fans of the team and fans of women's soccer, and they were loud, and the guy with the drum was revving up the crowd. So it was a little bit different, I think, than we experienced 2,000 neutral fans or a few home fans and a few independent fans. These were Decatur FC fans, and they were very noisy and were definitely really encouraging the girls to attack. It was really positive. Yeah, I did.
So now after the two matches in a short period of time, you've had a little bit of chance to catch your breath, and I can put those words, I guess, in quotation marks. 865 Alliance coming to town this weekend. What has study hall been like getting ready for them?
To be honest, Jack and I are going to watch the film again tonight. I mean, it's very difficult when you play against in a league where you're not sure of the lineup, obviously based on players' ability and how they will match up against you. So we've really focused this week, especially today in training, on what we're going to do when we have the ball, the movement that we're going to have when we have the ball, and hopefully make it a situation where we're dominating possession and being on top early and being on the front foot and pushing this team under pressure. And, we know they're going to go direct on the counterattack. They're going to watch the Georgia Impact game and see success when they sort of launch the ball forward and put us under pressure. So we're expecting that, but we're not going to be a surprise, I think, at the back as where we were sometimes with Impact, where we got caught out in bad areas and they punished us and had some good breakaways.
That's all you need to know with what's going on in the WPSL Southeast. Very, very competitive, and we mentioned what's going on with the power rankings, so you can find out all your information at WPSLsoccer.com, but you have some teams from the South. Charlotte Eagles right now at number 12, UFA Gunners at number 16, Decatur FC at number 18, 865 Alliance is at number 20, Nashville Rhythm is at 21. So there is some impact, pardon the pun, being made by teams in the southeastern footprint right now in the top 25 in the power rankings of the WPSL. So keep an eye on that as we go through, and we are done with Week 5, sprinting into Week 6, and kind of heading into Week 7 a little bit by the time we catch back up with one another as we go. With those matches that we talked about on the schedule, if you are there and can make it, go watch some of the great young talent that is currently performing in the WPSL. If you can't make it and still want to, and you are still hanging around locally, follow along on your local providers and keep up with your teams that way. If you're out of market and can't keep up locally, then follow along once again on local providers, on social media channels for all of the franchises, and here at SDH as we take you through the season of the WPSL. That is another go-round of the SDH on the WPSL in the Southeast. For everybody here at SDH and the SDH Network, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by. Play safe, everybody. Enjoy the games in the WPSL Southeast.